This is your Weather Xtreme video for Saturday, June the 14th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Thanks for tuning in. After somewhat of a tumultuous week that we've seen, it looks like the weather for the week ahead is going to settle down into something more of a summertime-like pattern. Let's start with the Skycam images. There's a beautiful sunrise shot this morning from Mount Cheaha, highest point in the state of Alabama at 2,407 feet. And just a beautiful clear sky there. Over Birmingham, we did see some what appear to be mid-level clouds and a little bit of haziness. Yes, there's a little bit of fog in the area. We do have a bit of a boundary across the area, separating some slightly drier dew points in the northern area from the more moist dew points in the southern area. Primarily at the surface, high pressure from the Great Lakes is making its influence felt across the eastern half of the country. A few spots across central and north Alabama experienced some dense fog this morning. It's pretty patchy. I noticed some spots as low as about a quarter of a mile. I expect that to burn off very quickly as the sun rises. Across the upper atmosphere, on the 500 millibar pattern overlaid on the water vapor imagery, we have a bit of a ridge that is building in, and that ridge is going to help to keep the weather somewhat tranquil over the next week ahead, with primarily isolated daily showers as well as some increased heat. QPF forecast showing that pretty much not a lot of rain expected over a good chunk of the Mid-South area centered around Memphis. And for much of Alabama, it looks like our rainfall will be rather spotty with just isolated showers. Storm Prediction Center is outlooking a moderate risk for severe storms across the Central Plains states, and this is fairly typical for this time of year as the severe weather season stretches up into that area as it moves out of the southeastern U.S. from the spring months. On day 2, Sunday, we see the slight risk area extending from in the vicinity of Chicago back down to just to the north of Oklahoma City. And then on day 3, the slight risk confined primarily into the area of Iowa, South Dakota, and Nebraska. And the tropics remain quiet. That may not stay that way, as we'll see as we look out at modeling. All right, let's take a look at modeling, and there is the forecast surface map from the GFS for today, from the 06Z GFS run. And nothing too exciting. It looks like the drier air will settle in across the northern half of the state, so I expect isolated showers to occur primarily down across South Alabama. In the upper atmosphere on Sunday, we see that the ridge is a little complex, but the ridge becoming a little clearer, a little stronger as it's building in over the southeastern U.S., and that should once again just mean for us that we'll see the possibility of some isolated showers. I think they'll be pretty widespread. The ridge is the big news and the big feature that we see for Monday as the ridge builds in a little stronger, as all that mess that's been in the middle of it, all those little weak lows that have been in the middle of it that have been helping to enhance precipitation, dissipate, and we become primarily dominated by high pressure at the surface. Now, the upper air pattern is not going to be changing much, and therefore the surface pattern won't be changing much. So there's a look at the map for Tuesday, and we can see the ridge building stronger. You can see the 588 contour climbing up into the vicinity of Chicago. We see that it goes north of Chicago on Wednesday, and it stays in the vicinity of Chicago on Thursday. So the ridge definitely getting a lot stronger, and that should mean lower 90s for us. And with moisture still somewhat in place, we'll continue to have just isolated potential for isolated afternoon and early evening showers and thunderstorms. So not much in the way of any kind of significant changes. When we get out to Friday, we do begin to see some change if the GFS is right, and there's some hint that this could be right because the European is in somewhat agreement with this. They're not exact, and they hardly ever are exact, but they are certainly in close agreement with the potential for a strong trough coming out of the northern Rockies on Friday, and that will be suppressing the ridge. And as it does come all the way out on Saturday, it also means the potential for suppressing that ridge quite a bit and bringing it back more into the eastern slopes of the Rockies, but also bringing a cold front down into the area, which means we should see increased chances for showers and thunderstorms as we head into next weekend. Now, right now, it's hard to say whether that front is going to get through the area, and keep in mind that this is June, and as a matter of fact, it's going to be the latter part of June, and therefore we don't see too many fronts get down this way, but it's something for us to be watching for. And with the suppression of the ridge, it means the temperatures will probably fall back to at least around the 90-degree mark, maybe even the upper 80s, with increased cloud cover and the increase in the potential for showers. Now, as we get out into voodoo country, as we said in the post, there's some interesting changes. And just like the GFS has been indicating for the last little while, we see a nice upper low over the Bahamas, which would be reflected with a tropical weather system of some sort. No, I'm not going to stick my neck out and say Arthur, but it could be. The GFS has been forecasting this. Last weekend it was forecasting something like this, and it still hasn't happened. So we'll keep watching. But the big, really big news is when you look out at the end of the period, and I know this is getting deep into voodoo country, but around the 29th, and look at this cool, wet pattern that we would be seeing if the GFS is right. But just remember, it's voodoo country. Thanks for tuning into the Weather Xtreme video. I expect to have the next one posted by 8 o'clock or so on Sunday morning. In the meantime, I hope your Saturday is a good one, and Godspeed.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.